Hey everyone, this is Kamara with Rooted Futures. How are you? So, we're getting ready to head into a full moon in Pisces. How about that? That's happening on the 20th of September, and that would be at 5:01 Pacific time. So, adjust that for whatever time zone you're in. And just know that this full moon is interesting in Pisces. Let me talk a little bit about the Pisces energy before we get into the general reading. So, Pisces is mutable water, and it's a mutable water sign. The archetype of the Pisces is the mystic. This is also the dreamer. Pisces can be also known as the poet. So, Pisces here is symbolized by fishes, sometimes by the ocean. And what I want to say about Pisces energy is that it's felt energy, but it's never quite known. So it has that combination of the Cancer being felt and then that scorpionic mysterious. So it feels like a love child of Scorpio and Cancer in terms of like the feeling state, in terms of the energy. Like you can feel it, but you're not quite sure if you know all of it. And Pisces does well with going within, seeking your knowledge and your wisdom from within, through your psyche, from your soul. And there's something really, like I want to say, metaphysical about this energy. So during this time, the moon is going to illuminate for us all the possibilities that are coming from within. What am I making sense of life from within? And this is a good time to start a metaphysical practice or to dive deeper into the practice you already have. Maybe you meditate, maybe you do active imagination or free association using your imagination. Maybe you want to start to record your dreams during this time, because Pisces is ruled by the planets Neptune and Jupiter. So and Neptune has a quality to it too of feeling like dreamy, but not always really clearly cognizant of reality. So, and Jupiter amplifies that, right? It's like, am I seeing what I'm seeing, or is there another layer to it? Conscious, unconscious. So, that being said, some of the negative attributes of Pisces is the escapism, is the desire to live in the psyche all the time, to live in the dream world all the time, to live more in the unconscious all the time. Sometimes people with these placements struggle with substance. Sometimes they struggle with alcohol, or they struggle with some substances, and there's a way in which they feel flooded by emotions, and they just want to dive deep into that world of escapism. Like some of this emotional material might be too much at times. I think we collectively might be feeling a little of this as we struggle in a larger sense with moving out of structures that once held us, moving out of rules that once held us. There's a quality of people wanting to implement the same structures while we've also shifted our understanding and our needs. Is there a better way to say this? That it's almost as if people are operating on an old processing system while the world has advanced. I can only use it kind of as a technology term, like you're using an old processor on a brand new computer, on a brand new understanding of life. So that continues, right? That people are not so much wanting to do things the old way, not seeing much sense in that anymore, wanting to dream of new and different ways to operate our systems, whether that's our internal systems, whether it's our family systems, or whether it is our community systems and global systems. A lot of that is going to be up for question now. It has been, I think that energy has been around, but you're going to find it more illuminated during this full moon in Pisces. Um, Pisces is also 12th house. So when we think of the 12th house, this is a house of troubles. This is a house where Neptune and Jupiter are the rulers. It feels unfocused at times. It feels like it doesn't have a structure. We're dealing with the unconscious and then a conscious. It's like we're trying to make sense of like, what am I actually seeing? So once again, it's like these psychic experiences. Do we trust them, or are we like needing to rely a lot on logic and quote unquote reality? So some of us will be in that energy, like, what is real? And we're questioning that, and we're expanding on that idea, and we're letting go of things that feel like they're dying. They've died in our psyche. They've died to our soul. That 12th house is like the end of a huge growth cycle. We've gone through all the signs on the zodiac, and we come to the end, Pisces, where I'm making sense of all of this experiences that I've learned, getting ready to head back into the first house, getting ready to head back into the house of self. So some of us will feel like we're faced with impossible situations that suddenly become very possible, that suddenly have a pathway to them. This is also the harvest moon. So we're heading into fall. We're beginning to understand that we're reaping the seeds that we've sown. And some of us were faced with the reality of that. What have I been lending my focus to, my vision to? And what's starting to come into fruition as a result of that? So we will want to maybe upgrade. We'll want to recognize this is the end of a cycle and start a new one. Some of us are going to become very aware of needing to take decisive action to do that. There will be, I'm just kind of looking at my notes too, there will be a kind of sensitivity to the way things are not working. There might be, for some of us, a certain kind of frustration in that during this time. Like, I absolutely just am tired of doing things this way, and I need something different to happen. So that frustration will be there. I think if you want to take advantage of this energy of Pisces, full moon, full emotions, you'll want to escape, but do it in healthy ways. Where is it that I can drop out and into community? Where is it that I can drop out of frustration, out of anger, into love, into connection? Where can I drop out of disconnection into connection? Like it's a way in which you're not really truly escaping, but you're just kind of reframing your feelings, your emotions during this time. It's almost as if you're setting out on a new journey. And for some of you, this is literal, like you'll be moving, like this is a time for you to uproot and go somewhere else or start that process. For other people, it's an inner psychic journey that you're taking. This could be metaphysical, this could be plant medicine, like you're going to go on a journey and you're going to go through your psyche and discover new parts of yourself, communicate with ancestrally, communicate cosmically, So some of you might be doing that work as well. If it's not plant medicine, you just might be doing this through meditation or some kind of prayer or some kind of ecstatic dance. Like you are going to find yourself in and out of your body in these processes. So some of you are going to have a real spiritual awakening with this. There's something that came to me earlier this week as I was talking to a couple of people, and it was an old movie that I remember from the late 90s called Slam. And maybe some of you have heard of it before. It was kind of like a spoken word story. And in that movie, and I suggest you go find it. I think you can rent it probably, or I don't know if it's on Netflix or not. It's called Slam, SLAM. It has Saul, I think it's Saul Williams in it, a couple of other spoken word artists. But there is a female character in there who does this one spoken word piece called Run Free. And I think you can even look up the clip on YouTube, Run Free Slam the movie. If you kind of look it up that way, you'll find it. It's not the greatest clip in terms of the quality, but you'll hear it. And there's something in that poem that I remembered as I was talking to a couple of people about the whole idea of understanding when you're running away from something versus walking away from it in clarity and in choice. Sometimes we're just in that motion that's very repetitive of running away from the things that we don't like to see. And there's something about this Piscean moon that comes up that's going to show us in a very clear way the mirror. And I want to bring up the card, the Pisces card here from the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, which is the Mami Wata card. And this is the Maiden of Cups. And hopefully you could see it's like this black mermaid, and she's holding a mirror, and she's in the ocean. There's these waves of water, emotion, and being able to be beautiful in those waves, beautiful in that motion. The Piscean fish coming up to greet her. And as she holds this mirror and turns it upon us, are we able to sit with what we see, even the difficult things, even the challenging things? And so Mami Wata from this deck is saying, can you see? Can you hold the mirror? Can you allow the moon and the mirror to illuminate things that maybe are from the past that you felt ashamed? But they're here to be healed. They're here to be brought to the surface, from the unconscious to the conscious. So that is the energy of this full moon. If you don't run away, if you don't escape in a very toxic way, you'll get a chance to heal the very thing that holds some roots of suffering for you. You will have an opportunity in this full moon energy to work through it, to come through and go to the other side. For some of you, this is depression. I'm going to finally touch into the root of my depression. For other people, I'm going to touch into the root of my anger. For others, I'm going to touch into the root of my anxiety and come through the other side. I'm going to see and connect with the root of it and be able to dig it up. I'm able to dissolve it. I'm able to transform it. So let's get into a quick reading collectively about this new moon. And I'm going to start with the Black Goddess deck, the Black Goddess Within. And let's see. I'm going to just shuffle. It's like 13 card deck. I really love it. It's very powerful, and it's 13 cards, but it's a very beautiful deck. So let's see what the collective, oh yes, the edge. If you can't see this, it's like a waterfall and a rainbow, and it's called the edge. Let me put on my reading glasses to read the back for you. Here we go. So the edge. Sometimes progress on your divine path requires you to work and play at the edge of your knowledge and experience. Emotional, mentally, physically, spiritually, expect some discomfort as this place is to stretch and to grow. If you're willing to dive in the edge, a place of great revelation and gifts, you'll receive these gifts and it'll have like a really beautiful impact on you. So we're being told right now that if we allow ourselves to go to the edge of our understanding, a place that feels uncomfortable, a place where we're not sure what's going to happen, it's going to illuminate the rest of our path. It's going to help us change out of old patterns, old habits. So let's keep that in mind as we go into the ancestral energy of this time. This is going to be a quick reading, and I have more readings, you all, on my Patreon. And I want to invite you to join my Patreon. I just started it, and I had to put it down for a minute to go through some career stuff that I was doing. And now I'm ready to pour more energy into it. We just got through doing a live today that included some dream visioning and working with dreams and tarot. So join me there. You're invited. It's patreon.com/rootedfutures. Let's see with the Angels and Ancestors card, what is coming up for us in terms of what ancestral energies or angel energies are guiding us during this full moon. I love it. The Shapeshifter and Mother Earth. The Shapeshifter here says transform and unveil your gifts. Mother Earth says feel loved and comforted. So there's a way in which when we're shape-shifting, when we're going towards that energy, again, that's towards the edge, that might be making us feel uncomfortable, making us feel a little unsteady in terms of next steps, in terms of healing old patterns that we're coming out of. We have to shapeshift. We have to understand that there's aspects of our life that are still old, that we're still having to show up in a particular way. It's almost like a liminal space. There's aspects of your life that you show up in a particular way, and you have to do those things. Maybe it's an old job you're wanting to transform out of an old relationships. And then you're heading into the new, shifting into a new identity, shifting into new energies. And as you're doing that, there's this beautiful, nurturing Mother Earth energy that's holding you the whole entire time. I get a sense for many of us collective that these motherly energies want us to change and not be afraid of that edge. It's okay to feel like you're shifting during this time. It's okay to understand that your identities are, for some of you, your identities are literally changing. This could be for some of you, your identities, gender identities are changing, your sexual identities are changing. We get a little chiming alarm on that. And you're being held during this time by your spirit team. So I want you to understand that whatever changes that you're going through, the discomfort of being at the edge, and for some of you, take note of that rainbow. So I want to say, like, if you're queer, if you're understanding more about your sexuality, that rainbow is even affirming that it's at the edge. And there's water here, right? That's our emotions falling over, helping us to understand. Don't become overwhelmed here. Know that you are being held. Knowing that you're being held and you have energy here. You have the tools and the power to transform in the most powerful way that you need to. So that's the ancestral energy that's being held for us. Let's see here what we can get from Spirit's kind of affirmation for us during this time. Ooh, fierce love. We got two cards here. Fierce love and kindness. Fierce love is talking about vulnerability is strength. Establish healthy boundaries. Love regardless of reciprocation. Have integrity in all interactions. Everyone is doing their best with the tools that they have, transforming fear into love. And then we have here kindness, living with integrity. Again, integrity is coming up. There's a way in which we're going to be asked during this transformative time, not only in understanding ourselves, but giving some leeway to others to help them understand themselves. You may not be able to directly help others help themselves, but you can lend them that space. You can lend them that breathing room to make mistakes and to understand themselves. And you could do this with kindness. You could do this with nurturing. There's something very divine feminine with that be there and being held by the child. It's almost as if allowing for exploration, allowing for curiosity to guide you in your relationships during this time, because everyone's trying to make sense of things. And then here, fierce love. What does it take for me to drop into vulnerability, to admit that I don't have the answers for everything? And I too am transforming. I too do not sometimes know what to do. And there's other times where I feel very good about where I'm going. And that these are energies, and these are energy states that we're in constantly. So, that's what Spirit wants us to know. Let's pull a few cards here before I have to go, especially with the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. So what else is it, Spirit, that you want the collective to know during this full moon in Pisces? I feel like it's a very powerful, transformative time. And in transformation, in healing, we have to understand that we are going to see aspects of ourselves that we have to allow to transform. Like, we can't just skip. We can't do that spiritual bypass into healing without looking at what is it that actually needs to be healed. Here it is. You have an ancestor that's guiding you, the wise one. This is kind of crone energy. This is grandmother, great grandmother, if we're dealing with the spirit realm, the ancestral realm. Riding on the horse, riding towards freedom, the direction of the east. For some of you, if you have a connection with the east direction, take this to heart. But literally, this energy is riding through the air. It's riding through the cosmos. It's coming towards you. It has a wand of energy, healing energy, and it's steeped in something ancient, ancient, divine, feminine, coming your way fast. And the second card that we get is the learner. Because this energy is teaching you. For many of you, you are going to go back and learn some of your cultural traditions. And this is going to steep you in and ground you in who you are. So I really get, for some of you, you'll be utilizing the energies of your grandmother. If she's alive, go to her. She has something for you. That's what Spirit's telling me to tell some of you. A grandmother, an older woman in your family has something for you that's going to help you to understand how to navigate this life. If you do not have this older person in your life, this person has passed on to the other world, ancestrally, this person will reach out to you, maybe in Pisces full moon, in your dreams. Invite her energy into your dreams and receive her message for you. Let's get with one more card here. This change is divine. We have two more cards that came out. All this grandmotherly energy. You've got the crone of blades. This is high elder energy, slicing away through any illusions, anything that hasn't been good for you. Some of you will literally go to bed at night and have so many debilitating thoughts so much depression. You'll wake up in the morning and feel like it's been cleared away. How did that happen? You're no longer, this is the Six of Swords, you're no longer willing to even manipulate yourself, like to have your own self-critical thoughts bring you into deeper depression. Some of you are going to understand that this ancestral energy is lifting you up in spite of everything, in spite of what you've been experiencing. This ancestral energy is coming up, lighting the way, taking you towards your journey. Many of you are going to feel this psychically. You can't be manipulated by old parts of yourself. Some of you by even old relationships. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Success is assured. Six of Pentacles. For many of you, you're going to break through limitations. Maybe limitations that society has placed on you, limitations that you may have placed on yourself, but you have the tools. You have the tools to break through and succeed. You also have a community supporting you, behind you. Many of you need to re-tap into that community to understand who they are, to ask for help if you need assistance. But the kind of help you're asking for is more of support. Cheer me on. Cheer me on and watch me do this thing. Be happy for me. Bottom of the deck. Also at the bottom of the deck is a sense of finally loving these parts of yourself. Some of them so starkly different from another. But they're being held by this beautiful like yoni, this beautiful like energy of the mother. If you can love those starkly different parts of yourself, parts that for years have maybe even hated each other, I use that word, hated each other, or worked against each other, you're going to find an internal love. This is the Lover's card. You're going to find that Aphrodite energy begin to grow within you, help you to understand yourself. That's at the bottom of the deck too. Okay, our last card as we head out of this really quick reading. And thank you for taking a chance on me as a deliverer of this message. Please click like if you like this video. Please subscribe if you like this video. Here is the last card of this reading. What is it that is the closing message that Spirit wants us to understand and know? We're using the Work Your Light deck here. A couple of messages. Soul family. You will connect with others who are also on this journey. Know, collective, that this is not a singular experience that you're having. This is a collective experience that you're having. Know that this is the age of light, that we're all awakening. We're all coming to these new understandings of ourselves. And to be gentle with ourselves, be gentle with yourself, be gentle with others as much as you can. And Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. Lemuria, this magical place, this magical heaven, is where we stand right now. This is a reminder that we can transform this place, no matter how shadowy it can get, no matter how at times violent it could get and challenging. We can transform this place. We can create heaven on earth by transforming who we are. The earth will follow. The earth will heal itself. By transforming ourselves, we will be in service of the earth and we will heal the earth. It's a process that we have to be a part of individually in order for it to happen collectively. Okay, so happy full moon. Take care. Peace.